Hi, I just wanted to get on here and share with you 6 tips on how to eat well but on a budget so you can feed your family well for cheaper. Now I know with rising food prices and food shortages, it can be really hard to get good food for good price. So I hope these 6 tips will really be really helpful, and it's really helped me and my family. I feed our family of 5 for about 160 to 170 a week, and we eat a lot of organic, from scratch cooking, 3 meals a day, lots of snacks. So I hope these tips will help you too. Let's get started. All right, so the first thing on my list is to join a community garden. At the community garden, what you guys do is the people from the local community come together. We work, we dig, we plant, we mulch, we weed, all that good stuff. And then as a bonus, you get to take home produce every single week. Normally you go about once, maybe twice a week if you feel like it. But generally once a week you go, you work a little bit on the garden for about an hour, 2 hours or so, and that's, maximum. And then you get to go home and take whatever has grown in the garden. And we split that between everybody who goes there and works in the garden, which is great. It's a great way to get generally organic, in season, healthy produce for like free. Sometimes some gardens have a very small yearly fee. It is very small, by the way. It's like maybe $10 to $20 for the year. Ours is free, so you might also get one that's free. And now if you don't have a community garden in your area, it's okay. All you have to do is you can ask the council. Well, first of all, see if there's other people who are interested in your area, because you're going to need a few people to help you work it. Ask the council to see if they will either give you a piece of land, which they generally will actually do, and give you funds to get one started. Or you can also ask a church, which is where ours is in our local community, is at a church, if they will use some of their land to do a community garden and get one started. So those are some ways that you can get one started in your area if you don't already have one. You could even ask, maybe there's someone local in the area who doesn't mind some of the land being used for the community. So many ways to go around it and see. That's a great way of really saving some money and being able to take home some good, organic, healthy food for your family. All right, the second way you can get good food for pretty much free or on a super simple budget is crop swaps. So if you don't have a crop swap, it's all right, easy to get one started, but first look to see if there is one within your general area that you are happy to drive to. So what that people do is they bring excess food, like excess things that they have grown. If you're not growing anything, that is okay. You can bring homemade goods and anything you bake, cookies, cakes, breads, anything you make at home, including things like soaps. Maybe you sew, maybe you crochet. Anything that's homemade or homegrown is generally welcome at a crop swap. And you can then swap your things for other things that you don't have food-wise. Most people at the crop swaps they have eggs and honey, they bring soaps, and they bring obviously a lot of excess produce like greens, broccolis, cauliflowers, whatever is in season. So you're also getting great organic seasonal food for no charge. You're just swapping over, which is great. That's the other thing with crop swaps is no money. You don't put any money in. You're just going as a community, meeting other local people and swapping. So that's a good one. If you don't have one in your area, it is really easy to get one started. All you have to do is put the word out there, pick a day, pick a time, pick a place, and just have a few rules. Homemade, homegrown goods, no money involved, and voila, you can get one started just like that. All right, so the third one's going to be pretty obvious, I'm not going to lie, but it's cooking from scratch. Obviously, cooking from scratch will save you money, and it's healthier. Buying raw ingredients instead of buying prepackaged meals really does save you a lot more of money, and is way more filling. Certain things that you can make from scratch as well that will really help to save money is making your home dressings. So all of your salad dressings, really easy, cheap, and affordable, and will save you quite a bit of money. Making things like your mayonnaise, ketchup, barbecue sauce, those really add up, and they're pretty easy to make at home. I find yogurt is a really big money saver for us. It costs $12 for 2 kilos, and I can make it for $3. And we go through a lot of that. So that saves me $9 every single week just on yogurt, not let alone everything else I make from scratch as well. So you can just see how those little things added up, making breads and things like that, all those little things added up will really save you a lot of money in the long run. Plus, just cooking from scratch is way healthier than just buying prepackaged things in general in itself. So that would be my third tip. Tip number 4 is probably maybe also obvious, but it's to buy in season. Buying in season, first of all, there's a lot of that food because it's in season, so it's going to be cheaper. A lot of times farmers and farmers markets and things like that, they will have a larger amount of those things to sell, even in boxes. For example, mangoes and strawberries and things like that. They'll have a large amount that you can buy for quite cheap. You can cut those up and freeze them. Great way of saving money, for example, on freezed berries and strawberries and things like that. also you can learn to then ferment those extra vegetables and store it in different ways, like quick pickles and things like that. So that's a great way of getting things for cheap, making it really healthy, and saving some money. And also you're still buying in season. So I find going to the farmers markets, just buying local in season products is just a really, really good way of getting more affordable food in the fridge. Tip number 5 is when you do go to the shops, look in the reduced items section. I always look in the reduced items section. There's one in the veggie area, so you can get generally sometimes bulk like bananas and greens and things like that. Look for those bulk items in the vegetable section. There's also reduced items in the meat section, which obviously can save you money to stick that in the freezer, save you money on meats. And in the dairy area, so if you're looking for creams, which I, for example, turn into butter, yogurts, things like that you might eat right away, you can really save money. A lot of those things you can just freeze as well and store, chop it up, kind of cook it, and save it. So whenever you go to the shops, always make sure you look at the reduced item sections for your health foods. It's just a great way of also getting cheaper whole foods into your fridge and freezer. All right, and my last tip for you guys is to buy in bulk. So anything that you guys use a lot of, any of your staples that you use a lot of, for example, maybe flours, seasonings and spices are a good one. I just bought in bulk a lot of pasta because we got through quite a bit of like sourdough pasta I found, which was really good. Anything like that, try and buy in bulk. And even if you can't necessarily store, let's say 20 kilos of flour, ask and see if maybe family or friends would like to put in and get some of that, and then at the same time you get that really cheap bulk price. I also have found that several wholesale companies you can get an account with and then get those products for even cheaper again. So here in Australia, if you are in Australia, you can join Honest to Goodness. You can get an account with them and do like a group buying account. And that way you have other people who can join in on it. You need to know them so they can join in. And then you guys can get the bulk pricing and buy lots of something and get it for way cheaper. So anything that you can think of that you can buy in bulk and use, I suggest definitely doing it. You really save a lot of money. And if you can get a wholesale account with someone, definitely go for that. And once again, that's even cheaper. And then if you buy in bulk from that wholesale account, it really reduced the cost drastically. So I hope you found these 6 tips helpful. If you did, please like this video, subscribe to my channel so you can see more things like this. And I will see you guys again soon in another video. Have a lovely day.